Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of the Comedy Power Hour. I am your host that does the most, Janelle Banks, and we are here. We are back. This show, of course, is sponsored by the Music and More Foundation, and we are live on KUAW 98.5 LPFM. That's knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. So, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. We got a new president, y'all. Yes. I got a new attitude. Yes. That is exactly how I feel. Let me tell you, I am empowered. I am just excited. What I'm most excited about, besides that we have a black woman in the White House, is David Chappelle on Saturday Night Live, y'all. Woo! Talk about a wonderful monologue, and just shout out to NBC for letting it all happen, and just letting it just. I mean, wow! I had to keep a tally of the N word, y'all, on primetime television. But it was a beautiful thing to see, and just the cast not being able to stay in character. I think that's one of the things I love about Saturday Night Live is when I see that people are breaking character and laughing left and right. That's when I know the energy is good, like, and people really are genuinely having a good time. Because sometimes Saturday Night Live can feel very robotic, and they're like, "Huh, let's just get this over with." But when they break character, I know it's good. So, did y'all tune in? Did y'all watch the episode?
I fell asleep.
You fell asleep.
I
Okay.
was working.
Well, yes, yes. So let me tell y'all about my host because these are two very busy individuals that we have on the show today. So first of all, we have Dustin Kaufman. Pium, 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 pium. So if you don't know about Dustin, Dustin is the owner, operator, and just all things that flow over at the Comedy Club KC. He's also my boss on the weekend. Sometimes he can be my daddy, whatever. But he runs and operates a wonderful club and a wonderful establishment. So we're definitely going to pick his brain today. And then we have Ace. Bellies do it better. It's my favorite. His
What's up,
tag.
Janelle?
I love him. He's also a comic based out of Kansas City, and he's hilarious. We've been working together forever, probably since I started doing comedy.
Like 12 years.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
no, I ain't gonna claim 12 years. I ain't that old
been
yet.
a long time.
I ain't that old yet, Ace. But
You ain't old. You chronologically seasoned.
yeah, chronologically seasoned. I
Yes.
like that. So we've been working for a very long time. So I'm very excited to have these two gentlemen on the show. So they're going to chime in and just add their input. But unfortunately, they did not catch Saturday Night Live, which I know you had a phenomenal weekend of shows.
Yeah.
So yes,
Nick DiPaolo.
Yes.
Couple sold out
Nick
shows
Dip.
Saturday night.
I like it.
So funny.
Yes, yes. And then Nick Nichols was in the building.
Mr. Nick Nichols.
Yes.
Man,
He's amazing.
he's so good.
And
He's so diverse. Everybody loves him.
so he gives you the feels. I mean, just genuinely a good, wholehearted person, and you feel that with his comedy. Like I get like just dad vibes. Like he
Just like, and talking to him even off of stage, just like the sound of his voice with the smile on his face just makes you
Yes.
feel so at home.
you feel like a baby when you talk to him. Like his smile is just so contagious. So just shout out to Nick and just Nick, both Nicks. I see what you did there.
The night of not enough Nicks.
Yeah, Nick. If you had a third Nick.
Nickelodeon.
Right. I like what you did there. So, of course, we got to jump into our first segment, Just Laugh at It, where we talk about things that are going on. So, of course, the election has come and gone, and it was the longest season finale we have ever, I haven't seen anybody like jump hard on a season finale ending since like Game of Thrones. But here we are, and now we have the results, and it's wonderful, and it's crazy because they're still counting ballots. And I still go back and look at the election results because I am that weirdo. Have y'all like what has been y'all election vibes? Like how did y'all handle the ride?
Bittersweet.
Bittersweet for you?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't like Trump's politics. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't like the way. Can y'all hear me now? I don't like the way he got into power. At the same time, I didn't want Biden either. Being real, just being real with you.
No, I'm with him.
So it's
I
like
understand. I
I'm
can
glad
understand.
that we're gonna have some class and elegance to the office. At the same time, it's like, what are you going to do? Because that dude's I can get into it. I don't want to go too deep, but his stance on guns is atrocious. Like, and it's just my opinion. Like a lot of people don't share that opinion, but his attack on the 2A, I don't agree with it at all.
And it's hard to say it without people immediately going, "Well, you must support Trump," because you don't.
Nah.
But I also I'm 40, and since I've been born, I've watched that entire regime, Bush, Clinton, but it's the same, take the money from the education, put it in the war, lie. I mean, half those guys should be in jail under the 9/11 commission, and you're just going to put them right back in office. It took how long to get them out? Yeah. I never looked at Trump as like an architect that paved the way to the future. I looked at him as what he was, and he was the demolition crew. And in my opinion, that house desperately had to be taken down, and we just gave it right back to him. So it scares me to like, when can we get it back again? You know, but no, I don't. I couldn't vote for either one of them.
It's a very hard place to be in as an American. It's been, you know, like I said, comedy has got me through it, and just the humor, the memes. But it definitely is, to me, it was just a breath of fresh air to know that things were not going to escalate the other way as they are. And just to segue into that, like the energy about this whole election, like recently, I posted some things on Facebook about just how I felt. I found out about like a lot of my classmates' beliefs and their, you know, ideologies, and I was taken aback because I was like, we grew up together. What? You know, it kind of confused me. But this is my thing. I understand with politics, it's a democracy. We have to agree to disagree. So I'm never one of those people that I'm going to be like, hey, I'm not going to comment on anything. I'm not going to fight with you because I don't want to give my energy to it. So I just remove people, you know. I don't even go through the whole let me block you. I just simply delete, because I think that's the beautiful thing Mark Zuckerberg, you know, gave us those witchcraft powers to do. And they are offended. They want to argue. They want to fight their cause.
Well, you know, I see it on both sides too. Like, you know, my whole life I always considered myself a very liberal person, liberal thinking, open-minded. And, you know, 15, 20 years ago, that used to mean like freedom. Yeah. Freedom of speech, freedom of choice, freedom. Right. And now liberals are the most intolerant group of people as a whole. Like, even towards, I have so many friends who are like, if you voted for Trump, just delete me and delete from your life. And I'm like, how can we be like that?
Yeah, you have to you just have to let people be able to vocalize their point, and we have to agree to disagree. You know,
the one thing I hope that comes from this new regime is, because the country became even more divided, even more than it was, which is crazy.
So you can thank the Trump man for that.
Right. Yeah. Right. So I do hope that we can just get rid of that and stop this like civil war over choice, because that's what people are fighting over, and that's what people are angry about, are other people's choices. So again, to me it was just, I mean, as a comic for 15 years I fought for freedom of speech, and I spoke of freedom of choice, and so to see people just attacking each other for that.
Yeah, and I think...
And it's not just about anti-religion. It's like, oh, what do you find is funny? What do you find is
this? Right. I think as a comic, like, that's why I'm just like, hey, you know, life is subjective, and you are totally entitled to your opinion. I just have to, like, shield myself, you know, and protect triggers. You know, you post something that makes me a little upset, I'm not going to look at it all day. I'm going to just move along.
I mean, I definitely understand protecting your energy. I get that completely. The thing about Trump, for me, and this is why I couldn't, like what I like to say, I couldn't get down with the sickness, is how he rose to power, how he went about things. Those things that trigger people, that are inflammatory. I don't want to necessarily say he incites, but he definitely condones.
Tolerates. He makes it tolerable for everyone.
He definitely had a couple opportunities to like make people feel better about that, and chose to not.
Yes, stand back and stand by. It's not really good.
He knew what his base was. Like I'm an 80s baby, so I'm old enough to remember the interview where Donald Trump said if he were to run for president, he'd run as a Republican because Republicans are stupid and you can get them on emotion. He said that. Those came out of his mouth. He said that, and that's exactly what he did. He prayed to the soft underbelly of the alt-right, those individuals who believe in white supremacy as an oppressive measure. He catered to them, and to a certain extent, a lot of our friends that resided in them. And the next thing you know, they felt emboldened. And now you know, like, that's the one thing I do thank Comb over for, is showing me who was who.
Right.
Like, I appreciate that. Because at the end of the day, you had a lot of Joe Bidens out there that are smiling in your face and to stab you in the back. And all I ask from this new regime is that you don't do it again. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say it's bittersweet. It's terrifying because at the end of the day, I don't know what I'm getting. I knew what I was getting with Trump. Mm-hmm. I knew.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what I'm getting with these guys.
I don't know. Yeah, like I'm.
I would have sauce in my bag.
Yeah.
Like
I would have liked to have seen a better Democratic candidate in 4 years than be stuck with Biden and see who the Republicans come up with.
We had one, and he was bought out twice.
Bernie?
Oh, of course.
Okay, so I'm gonna move on to a lighter subject. But that was really good. I like having those conversations, especially because we all have 3 different points, and see how it didn't get argumentative. See how nobody's voice raised. See how
that's because we can't cuss.
No,
I'm joking.
But I mean, still. But at the same time, I still felt like I can agree to disagree. And not even agree to disagree. I can understand your point and it respect it. It be just that, So I love when adults can make love with their words. Moving on. This was just comedy to me last night. Did anybody watch the Saints game? Saints.
I fell asleep. It's after 9:30. Listen.
Yeah, you at that age. And I get it.
I got 3 kids.
I get it.
I gotta put them to bed. I gotta make dinner, do laundry.
Oh my God, come on, Daddy Daycare.
Yeah, I gotta do the whole 9 yards. Yeah. And I got teenagers with teenage problems.
Oh Lord.
People like to sneak out.
Oh Lord.
Like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
Bless your heart.
8:45, I started. I'm gonna get about 4 of those in. If I'm sitting in my room watching TV, 9:15, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Yep.
I'm kind of the same way, but last night that game was so entertaining. It was a lot. Like, please go back and watch the highlights. First of all, I was just happy to see Tom Brady's feelings get hurt because that just always makes me feel really good as a person. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a bully. But that game just was murder. Like, when I turned it on, it was 31-0, and that was in the third quarter. But then, I swear somebody played Knuck If You Buck. And it was just fights left and right. Like, I literally saw players jumping each other on the field. Like, I have this theory because, for the last 2 weeks, the NFL has been, gruesome. Like, it's been some fights. Not even 2 weeks, more than that. I'm starting to think these babies are trying to fight to get out. Because, they have to live this shelter life in this so-called bubble or whatever. They can't travel. They can't see their families. I think the pressure is building up. You still have players that are getting infected, et cetera, et cetera. I think some of these babies is I don't want to be here anymore. It's week 8. We're going into week 9.
Are they not seeing their families?
I don't think they can. Yeah, they have to,
during the season?
Yeah, I think they have to stay in.
They just have them in, real world?
Well, I know the NBA did a bubble situation, but I don't know as far as how the NFL is handling. But I don't think they have a lot of access to travel into their family. They have to stay very guarded. So
we're talking about the NFL, right?
Yeah. So I think that these babies, this is just my theory. I think that they trying to beat each other up so they don't have to play no more. Find me, let me out, cuz.
There's my hand. Step on it.
Peace. That's just where I'm at with it. But I don't know. Maybe that's my theory. So 2 funny stories that I saw, and then I just want to jump in and pick y'all brains and interview you guys. So saw a headline: a man in Idaho broke the Guinness World Book of Records for catching 18 uncooked eggs in his mouth
at the same time.
No,
in a row.
Yeah. Just
at once?
Not at once, individually, right? So
who?
He actually has broken a lot of records. So I guess this is one I was just how did you even find this one? But I beg to differ. I'm a part of a Greek lettered organization, and I have seen some things in the past, and all I'm saying is somebody done caught 18 eggs in their mouth pledging underground, I'm sure. But secondly, why? I wonder, did he get salmonella poison or something after that? What did you doing? What is his name? What is you doing, David Rush?
There's
what is
gotta
you doing?
be a better way to be remembered.
His obituary gonna be cracking.
Did he
literally,
eat them or
you see
just
what I
catch them?
did there?
Yeah. You clever. I like that.
He just caught them, right? He didn't eat them all.
No, he just caught them in his mouth.
They uncooked, I presume. Right?
Yeah, uncooked eggs.
Who threw them?
Oh, yeah.
His homeboy.
I think his homeboy should get some.
He should get
Some
clout
love,
too
too. I
for
mean,
like
shoot.
being able to hit his mouth. But I just
How much practice did they do?
right. How many eggs did not land in David's mouth? That's what I want to know.
Where did they practice at? Like eggs is I was a juvenile delinquent as a child, so eggs is a hard cleanup. So where did they do this?
I mean, I'm just more concerned about his digestive tract. That is what I'm worried about.
But he's not eating them.
I know, but still, you're swallowing some of that, yo.
Uncooked?
You're swallowing.
Come on, I cook my eggs sunny up.
I like my eggs sunny up
and
too,
runny
but they
all
still
day.
getting a little
All
heat.
day.
You know
Sunny
what
and
I'm saying?
runny.
They're still touching the pan.
Yeah, but I'm saying he probably. I want to know how much.
No, it's like protein. Like bodybuilders will drink raw eggs.
But 18 of them.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay on that.
I'm pretty sure he didn't.
That man's still
eat
pooping
18.
today. This was on November 9th. That man, this was today. He's pooping. He pooping right now. He pooping because there ain't no way. Like, I mean, he could. Well, clearly he ain't a vegan if he catching eggs in his mouth. So that's that.
That's against my diet. I can't.
The smile on my face is just. This is family friendly, and I have nothing to say.
Talk afterwards.
That was censorship, right?
Oh yeah.
I just can't. Like, for me, I don't. Is your mic? Someone on your mic? Or your headphones?
The headphones, but it's back. We back.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to know. He caught. Let's see. He took the record for most eggs caught in his mouth within 1 minute.
Who's number 2?
Right. Maybe it's Jonathan, because Jonathan is the one who helped him. But
if I'm number 2, and say if I caught 17 eggs in my mouth, and some dude went and got 18, I'm gonna be ticked.
I might fight him, but I'm just like, in 1 minute.
Who came up with this world
That means you pop. Like, you gotta swallow some of that.
There's gotta be, right?
You gotta
spit go.
You gotta. Yup. We gonna move along because then it's not gonna be family friendly.
That's
Oh,
like
the
almost-
KUAW.
Oh, that's almost every 3 seconds. That's like an egg every like less than 3 seconds, right? Just
Come
about
on,
every 3
Science.
seconds.
You sound like you're doing that John King election math.
But that's
Come
like
on.
every 3. So you think that's a second and a half to like get it in, get it out, and get back in position.
I didn't even think about the position because you really do have to be at the right position.
They really had to practice. It's like, all right, come on, bro. All right, you ready?
Imagine like the mouth exercises he did before and after. Like, that's a lot. You know what? Kudos to you, David Rush, because you know what? I think I want to date this man. I do. I want to see what he can do with crab legs being thrown at him. But anyways, another funny story. A sheep was found wandering loose in Virginia City. The control officers that found him and captured him wandering loose in the neighborhood still don't know where he came from. So now we don't like what. Y'all, who let your sheep out?
Next subject, please.
Where could you go with it? Oh Lord, I don't even want to know. I just thought it was hilarious because I remember seeing a peacock on like off of like 43rd and Emmanuel Cleaver, and nobody believed me. And I'm like, dude, there literally was a peacock. Like, I guess it escaped from the zoo. The zoo is not that far. Like,
well, I've actually seen.
It was looking for the shuttlecock at the museum.
I can't with
I
you.
could do that.
Yeah,
No, I've actually seen peacocks in a domestic situation in somebody's yard.
and see, that's what I thought. You know, like that could be possible. Like, people who live around my mother has been chased by a goat into her house, and she lives in Raytown because like her neighbors, they have chickens. They did have to get the goats got taken away because you just can't have goats in a residential neighborhood like that. You just can't. But they had all kinds of just bucks and clucks and everything, like a real live rooster. I've been woken up to a real live rooster. I never thought as a black woman I would ever experience that.
No, I've seen some animals. I grew up in Wyandotte County, so I did see some horses.
Well, yeah, horses are common,
Peacocks.
but peacocks,
Yeah,
peacocks,
like
They're beautiful.
they are beautiful.
They're so
they
beautiful.
are evil animals.
They are super mean. They're like ostriches. They're very mean.
I've
They're
seen ostriches
aggressive.
too.
Really?
Yeah.
Now
What side of
I
Wyandotte
would want to
County
see
is
an
it?
ostrich to get an egg.
No, you wouldn't.
I
What
want
thing
one of
is-
those eggs. They're so big.
I always thought the ostrich eggs really stunk, like real bad.
Do they stink?
I don't know. This is a phobia of mine.
Well, eggs I think stink because of the sulfur or something.
So I can imagine.
So a bigger one, I would imagine, would be.
So peacocks, I didn't know they were really mean. So they're really pretty, but they're really mean.
Yeah,
just like a real woman.
I didn't know I was dating so many peacocks in my 20s.
I hate you.
Yeah. but quick question: could that guy catch 18 ostrich eggs in his mouth?
No, because he would drown.
Now,
He
would be a
would
record I
drown. An
respect.
ostrich egg is like the size of your
I would
head.
respect that record. I would not respect that other record.
I think a couple
What
of
kind of eggs were these?
I think a couple of the
David?
peacocks I used to date could catch an ostrich egg.
I hate you.
See.
Oh my God. So I be seeing all the peacocks at Walmart and in the zoo. They're there all the time. Where are you located, Jeremy? I'm reading a comment. Okay, so the internet. I can't stand y'all. The internet. I definitely should have thought about having these two on the show at the same time.
At the same time.
It was not. You know, the universe makes things happen for you, so we're gonna push through it. But I know
You gotta understand, I'm doing well.
you are doing very well.
Wait a
like
minute,
I
I'm not
definitely
doing well.
You're
You're
doing
doing
well
great,
too.
but you
I
gotta understand
definitely,
me.
yeah.
I know,
Because
trust me,
I've been
I
on
know
a
you.
show with Ace, and they like, don't say this, and Ace will be like,
How many times?
it was said, but I only said it once.
One time. You upset?
So of course, like the internet has been hitting us with the most hilarious memes out there. My favorite one I've seen today, actually, because you know he had the press conference after everything happened at the Four Seasons Landscaping Company and not hotel. Four Seasons has decided to profit off that, and they are now selling stickers, and it says "Make America Rake Again." Four Seasons Total Landscaping, lawn and order. How shady! Y'all let them book y'all venue, and then you go sell stickers.
I ain't mad at you. Get your money. I feel you.
But I love it. It's being petty with a purpose.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be like if we booked Jimmy Walker and then sold shirts that says the comedy club is dynamite.
You should do it. You should do
The
it.
problem is I probably won't book Jimmy Walker.
Yeah. He's expensive. He's expensive and bossy. Very
All right,
bossy.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. So of course I want to introduce my guests. Once again, we have Ace, the comedian, on stage or
What's
on at
happening?
the table. And then we also have Dustin. So let's dive into y'all, because y'all are fantastic individuals. Dustin, tell us about you. Tell us why comedy,
My
why open
name
a
is
club.
Dustin Kaufman. I'm the award-winning business owner of the award-winning comedy club, the best comedy club in Kansas City, the
Whoop, whoop.
Comedy Club at Kansas City.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Yes. Won't he, will he
I had
do
to
it?
rehearse that.
My name, Lil Durrell. My name not on the comedy club.
What's the question?
So, what made you open the comedy club, and then in the location
It was that or a
you
flooring store.
are? Okay.
I chose comedy. I was
Okay.
like, you know what? I read a joke book when I was a kid. we're gonna give this a shot.
Those Mad Lib books are amazing. So, why the location? Because I feel that you have a very unique location.
It's central to Kansas City. To me, that location. First off, it used to be a movie theater. It was the Watts Mill Cinema 4, and when Watts Mill was open, they actually it was called the easiest to reach cinema in Kansas City. That's what the newspaper said about it, right? So,
Okay.
So
Well,
it
piece
is.
of history. I like that.
It is, and then you remember I saw Bambi there with my grandma, and then they turned into Wade's, and I used to eat cheese soup there with my grandma as well and stuff. So when I walked in there, like, I just felt that. But again, the location, it's not like 40 minutes away in Bonner Springs. It's not in some shopping development that's based on the economy. It's in more of where life happens. It's it's Life Center. We have everything around us. We're right off the highway. I didn't want to go, I thought downtown Overland Park, but then, you got people leaving from drinking and they got to drive down Metcalf all drunk. I'm like, I'm not doing that to them.
Yeah.
And I figured we could get a lot more of the Missouri if we're in Missouri rather than Kansas, even though we're just a state line. So I just love the location. It's close to everything. I think it represents the city as a whole as a destination location.
Okay, I love it. I do love the location. I'm biased because I live across the street.
Both my grandmas lived where you live.
Or are you trying to?
At Willow Creek.
Yeah, I know. I just was like, are you trying to say I'm old? But no, I'm joking.
Chronologically seasoned.
I'm just chronologically seasoned. Won't he do it? So like I said, the location's phenomenal. Your lineup is definitely different. So explain to me your theory and booking and just the comics that you bring in and the comics. What I love about your club is you really give local talent an opportunity to feature. I see a balance of other clubs. Generally, they'll bring in their own features or hosts, but your club, you've been pretty consistent on allowing your own talent to shine or your local talent. I read an article that you were featured in where you stated you were looking for Kansas City's next best thing and you want that in your club. So tell me, how do you book your features with your headliners and your headliners?
Well, when I first opened, I booked a lot of headliners as my local headliners as my features while they were in town. It made it pretty easy, right? Because when you go on the road, it's 30 minutes most places. So there wasn't like a whole lot of strong 30 minutes, right? So we emceed a lot, and I think that was a great way, and we really try to like give people opportunities for like showcases, and it's still a learning experience, but sometimes you have to know when to give people an opportunity, and and sometimes you just have to take a chance, right? I mean, if you believe in somebody and you believe in their future, it's like they're not going to grow if they're not working, and the only way for them to work is if you start working them, right? So
true,
right? So and then like even to move up to feature, like I've had a few people come in, and for the first year where they opened, they emceed and they learned how to do it, and they learned how to take themselves out of the equation, and they didn't just go in there and try to make it the them show, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna host, I'm gonna be a host, I'm gonna do the right. And once you really master that, man, featuring's a breeze.
Yeah,
it's a breeze. And it really, I'll even the one who really kind of helped open that gate for like, now we're doing co-features to start giving people more time to do like 15-20 minutes and on the weekends, and start building towards that, the 25 to 30 minutes. And was Aaron Scarborough, and he emceed and for a while, and he started doing really well. And then he came in for a guest spot one night, and man, he just tore the room apart.
He's good. He's also Casey's Talk comic.
Right.
Yeah.
He was right. He was. And he just tore the room apart, and it made me go, okay, so I need to start moving him up, and I need to find ways to start moving people up, and to start, like, even if they don't have 30, like, figure out how to help them get there.
Help them stretch it.
So start stretching your wings and start writing that next 15, that next hour. So.
Yeah, I can say your club is I've seen the growth in a lot of comics there and their time, and then just you do give us that time like to learn and to grow and try to figure it out. It definitely has made me challenge my material and flip material and get out of the comfort zone. So
some people don't like it. Some people don't like criticism. They don't like honesty. Some people don't like honesty, so
I don't. Tell me I'm pretty.
You're beautiful.
But yeah, I love that. So let me ask you this. What has been, because you've been, you're 2 years in the game now?
About a year and a half.
Year and a half? Okay.
Right?
It feels like forever.
So year one, we won the best open mic in Kansas City. And now it's not, that open mic doesn't even exist anymore. So this year we won Best Comedy Club. So next year will be the shoe store of Kansas City.
I can't. He's so petty. So I want to know, because I'm biased. I have my nights that I've had fun there, but you've been there every single night of your club. What has been like, if you could name 3 of the top just phenomenal nights, headliners, features, or just a night where you felt like your club, like you were just like
getting intoxicated with Jay Chandrasekhar after the show.
Yes,
in March was one of the first moments, because it was had been open almost a year, and we had just kind of really caught a breath. This was the week before we got shut down.
Okay.
Right, and so that's really, like, we had been open just under a year, and man, was that a year. When I remember when I first opened, people would be like, thank you for opening.
Yes.
I couldn't even look them in the eyes. I'm like, I don't even know. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna go throw up.
Yes.
So like that was one of the first times I really got to just, like, we had a great like stretch. We just caught a breath. We just got some stuff paid off, and like I was just enjoying it, right? And that was like definitely one of the better moments for me.
There that weekend, I can feel that. Yes, that was a good weekend. I think the news coverage and everything, just seeing how you've operated has been really cool. Has there been any other moments post-COVID or pre-COVID that have just blown your mind?
Opening for Dice was cool.
Yes. Andrew Dice Clay, if y'all know who that is. You know, comedians, we just be using nicknames.
You know, I've never booked myself to work, and he asked me to host, which is why I did it. So that was fun. That was a fun weekend.
That's awesome.
I mean, the week that they shut everything down, we were still doing live shows out of the showroom. That was pretty special. You know, it just showed what the comics had, and because when you're an entertainer, and when especially as a stand-up comedian, when you walk that line of like sharing the truth and comforting people in hard times, because at the end of the day, your job is to make people feel better. Yeah. And that was definitely a time where there was ease to be broken. So that really showed like who a lot of the like serious minds were, and who really took the gift they had seriously. Right. So that was really nice. And besides that, it's been, I mean, so many people have been awesome to have. I mean, you know, Ron Funches. I mean, I could go through and just everybody has been great, fun, you know, or just fun weeks. And right now, I'm just really grateful that we have the business that we have, even at half capacity. You know, we're selling out multiple shows a week. We're kind of like close to peak of what we can really we found that like peak average, I think, which is frustrating, but again, I'm really grateful for the business that we have and the support we've had from the city and from our fans and from comedians, not even here but across the country, when we're pulling even fans from all over the country right now.
That's awesome.
You know, we have a travel package on the website where they get hotel tickets and dinner and stuff, and people are doing it all the time.
Nice.
Like all the time. And
that's when you stun like your daddy, when you can just book a whole weekend of comedy. I love it.
Right.
Plane tickets, hotel accommodation.
Well, I never said plane tickets.
No, I'm just saying when you gotta like fly yourself.
But they stay where the comics stay. We put them at the hotel.
That's even more awesome.
Right.
Yeah, because if you kick it with the right comic, baby, they gonna shut the hotel down and have some fun. So it's fun. It's a good time. So before we wrap this up, asking you questions, any, you know, announcements, anything you want to put out there, any major things coming from the Comedy Club of KC?
We have a lot of really good shows coming up,
yes,
honestly.
Yes, you do.
We have Dave Landau this weekend, who's hilarious. Yes. Last Comic Standing. But then Thanksgiving week is Shane Gillis, who, you know, Culture canceled him right out of Saturday Night Live. And then we have Jason Mewes who is Jay and Jay and Silent Bob. We have Sam Morrill, and next year's looking awesome. I mean, really, next year we had a lot of things like reschedule and stuff like that. So next year we do have Brian Posehn, Chris DeStefano, Tom Papa on here. TK Kirkland's coming in. Nicole Byer, Ari Shafir, they're trying to get. So I mean, and we were supposed to have her.
That was my joy, Yale.
We were supposed to have her May 1st, I think, and just I mean,
I stand. I'm gonna cry at that show. I'm definitely gonna be sitting in the back. She's like oh my God, you know when they say representation matters, she's my like. There are people like me in this industry that look like me, and I should not be afraid. Yeah. Yes, I love her.
Yeah, so I mean, again, every week, and we focus on funny, and that's one thing that's important to me. Where I felt early on, I had to do two things for the club, and that was put the value of a ticket back in the ticket.
Yes, come on.
And then to earn the trust of the city, to be funny. Where our focus, number one, is funny. No matter who you see, who you coming to see, it's going to be funny. But over that time, we earned that reputation really quick. We started getting good names, and now it's just, I mean, they called me 4 months in after we had Dice. They're like, dude, you're in a club now. I'm like, well, can you pay off my bills? Because
Right. Don't nobody talk to you about that side, honey. The lights is coming on for this comedy show, so make sure y'all support that.
Triple A's here to turn off the lights.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, I feel you. Well, keep pumping out magic. I love it. Keep booming and blooming. Like,
Thank
it's
you.
amazing. It's been an honor and a pleasure to perform
thank you for having
here
me. And it's
to
nice to be
attend
able to
shows.
smile again.
Yes.
Right? To have fun with it now.
Yes.
So now I'm having a lot of fun. So
Good. Get your blood pressure down and enjoy it.
yeah.
Relax.
Yeah.
Get with
It's all them after hour, like, gummy bear shots.
I cannot with you. Thank you so much, Dustin Kaufman. Make sure y'all tune in and just check out everything they're doing. Their website is phenomenally and super organized, and just you gonna find them shows and them tickets, honey. So make sure you check out the club. It's a beautiful establishment. The bartenders are nice.
TheComedyClubKC.com. Why'd you look at me when you said that?
No, because I'm like, I don't want him to know I'll be probably sneaking extra liquor. Okay, anyway. Just kidding. But thank you so much for coming in, y'all. Thank you. So I want to move on to Ace because Ace is here. And Ace is actually multitasking and working. I don't know what his job is. He's like a big banker undercover. Like,
I'm Tommy at a comedy game. I ain't got no job.
He got a job, y'all. But Ace is just somebody that I've worked with throughout the years, and he's a phenomenal force. What I love about him is he is unapologetically himself on and off stage. He is the dude that will say, yo mama. So
I've said that before. People got really upset with me.
Yeah, I can understand why. But Ace, so tell me, I don't know your comedy story. When did you start comedy? Why?
I actually started comedy in Manhattan, Kansas.
What?
Yes.
Okay, go Wildcats.
Yeah. My ex-wife went to school there.
Okay.
I was working, and a company I had worked for, one of the companies that came and catered to us or sold us food the day before payday. Like, it was wild stuff. Like, you got people bouncing checks for, food or whatever. So,
Wolf of Wall Street. Huh?
Well, I mean that's what it was. But I would be in the break room talking junk, and one of the guys that was there, he owned this place called Pat's Blue Ribbon in Aggieville, and he was like, "Hey man, you're funnier than some of the guys that come in, and you should, come out." And it took me like, I told, I'm coming out. I'm coming out next week, and it took like 6 months to grow up here.
Oh wow, I thought you said 6 weeks.
Nah, it took 6 months, like whole months.
You went through 2 trimesters.
Yeah, like because it was like, I'm gonna do it, and then I chickened out for like months on end. And finally, do it. I ain't gonna ask you no more, man. Have a nice life. And I got my car pulled, and I went, and I've been hooked ever since.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? So what inspired you? Were you just naturally a funny person, or were you one of those kids that watched stand up and was like, I'm gonna do this?
Well, I mean, I've always watched jokes on stage and stuff like that. Like, but I've always found that being on stage, I get to be the freest form of myself. I get to say stuff that, everybody's thinking but is afraid to say it. And I get to poke fun at stuff. I get to poke holes into people's theories and thought processes. And it's like, I bet you didn't think of it this way. And to be funny about it. So you're right. You get me on stage. Like, you get the same conversation I'm going to have with you with a microphone in front of my face. I'm going to say the same stuff while we smoking cigarettes out back. So
I get it. So for you, being a comic in Kansas City, I know the culture is different depending on which side you're on. I know we converse a lot about that. How has your Kansas City comedy experience been?
I try my best to stay out of the sides of it, because to me, I want to be funny no matter who I'm in front of. I don't want to say I'm over here, I'm over there. And to a certain extent, it's hurt me because I haven't chosen a side. People choose not to choose. So at the same time, I don't care to be impartial.
Can I just say, as a comic, you should just be on your own side?
Yeah. I mean, I feel you on that.
Definitely an individual game.
But I'm not looking to, because there are cliques within the comedy game for no plausible reason. Like, I don't understand it, but whatever. And because of that, some people because you don't choose a side, they assume. So at the end of the day, I really don't care about that.
This is why you don't have any friends, Ace.
Yeah, I know, man. Hey, listen, I got 3 kids. I ain't got time for friends.
Right, those are your friends. Absolutely.
It's unfortunate because they broke, they needy, they complain a lot, and they dirty.
So,
are you talking about the Kansas City comedians or your kids?
Oh my God! So segue.
Message.
Hello. How do you balance that fatherhood and being a comic? Because I know a lot of times we talk to you, you were like, "Look, I'm putting the kid to bed. I gotta run and do this for my job." So how do you find that balance?
It's for me, for years, comedy has taken a backseat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why you've known me for so long, but you ain't seen me nowhere. Because it's like, all right, I'm doing this in my spare time. I want to do it when I can, as much as I can. And now that I'm free of a lot of chains, it's now, okay, let me see if I can make this a profitable hobby, because I enjoy doing it. I'm not going to stop doing it. And I'm good at it, or at least I like to think so. And I have to figure out time. Like right now, half the time I've been here, I've been working and texting my son to make sure he's gotten his sister from school. But I got to do it, because at the end of the day, it's I am a father. I have to balance that out. So you have to make as much time as you can for it. Because comedy's like the girlfriend that I want, but I got to wait till everything's in the right place for me to really truly dedicate time to her.
Completely. That was very eloquently put. Yeah. I like that. So do you have any specific comedy goals? I know you say you want to do it full time, but is there anything like, do you aspire to go on tour, record an album, like Def Comedy Jam? I'm nosy.
Yes. I want to be the best Ace that I can be. I want to be the best that I can be. If that means I'm the greatest of all time, by all means, give it to me. At the end of the day, though,
claim it.
What I want from my comedy is I want to be able to touch the entire world and everybody say, "Yo, that dude is bleepity bleeping funny."
Yes.
Yeah.
Bleepity. I want to say bleepity bleep too.
Yeah, because I'm here.
I know that's right. So do you have I always like to ask comics, who are their top 3 inspirations? Like, do you have anybody that you just, if you could work with, or that you have worked with, or just who inspires the mess out of you?
I didn't know about this dude till I got to Kansas City. It was just weird. I've been doing comedy for 4 years before I heard of this guy. And it's Patrice O'Neal.
Yes.
Because he says whatever he wants, however he wants, and he don't care if you get offended by it. And I wish that I had an opportunity to meet him, because when I found out about it, it was like, yeah, man, you're a lot like Patrice O'Neal.
You're very much like Patrice.
Yeah, and I'm like, who? And so I looked up Elephant in the Room, and he did the joke, and I'm like, yo,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
But at that point, it was already too late. So Patrice O'Neal, one person I got a chance to work with, and I just love the man's energy, is Tommy Davidson.
Yes. Like,
that dude, I've never seen anybody go for hours as hard as he goes. And it's like, man, so that's really dope. And then last but not least is George Carlin.
That's not George Carlin.
And that's my top 3 today. Like, tomorrow, ask me tomorrow to be somebody different, but Patrice is gonna be there.
Yeah. Day. Forever. He's very iconic, and just to hear the behind the scenes stories. I hear a lot of comics that used to work with him. He was so blunt and just so him on stage was him off stage. You very much remind me of that person. You're just very honest. But it's not an honesty that hurts. You're not mean. If you don't know, who you are, then you might be like, dang, Ace, but you're just honest, and I appreciate, being around comics that can give you constructive criticism and feedback and things of that nature. So I appreciate you. So what do you have coming up? What's going on with Ace?
I got a couple things coming up. So next week, I'm actually at the other club in Kansas City, on Raytown, Kevin's Club, the Legends Comedy Club. And then I'll be doing that from the 13th to the 15th. Then the very next week, I'll be doing Dustin's Club.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got me out there with George Wilborn.
Yes, we're going to be there together.
Yeah, I know. We got the show right here. So we get the cuss.
Did you do this on purpose? No, I'm just playing.
No, you did this.
I forgot he was emceeing something.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yo, come on, Dustin.
Now, Dustin, we know you be forgetting. Dustin be like, hey, what you doing? You want to do some comedy? You know you want to do it,
And
girl.
I'm like, dude, I'm here. This is why I'm here. Like, you
Yeah.
called me here. No,
Yeah.
Dustin actually booked me on his show out at the Arts Bar years ago.
Wow.
Yes, cough drops.
Can we just take a moment to just appreciate what that establishment was? Because I feel like
Man.
if you are a comic in Kansas City if you became a comic within the last 5 to 7 years, that was just your nucleus of comedy,
Absolutely.
for Kansas City.
Brief pause. Give a shout out to Dustin's hair and cough drops. Like, y'all remember? Like,
Yes.
yeah.
So he sent me a video, and I was like, "Who is this baby? Come on, bro. We would have been sharing hair products. You shouldn't have cut it off. We could have been out here sharing the jojoba oil together."
That show is so much fun.
Yeah, man, that show was pretty fun, man.
Yeah.
At the Arts Bar, it definitely was a iconic venue. It's unfortunate the things had transpired there that caused the demise of the club.
I don't even know what happened.
Man,
It was
we'll
like we
talk
was
about-
in a relationship and then
Talk
we
about
went
it
in
off
it
air. I
together.
know what happened. We'll talk about it.
The owner was the tenant. He didn't want to pay the rent.
Oh my
Nah,
God.
that,
himself.
I mean, I get all of that,
That's
but
the business side.
But see, there was a culture shift in the club, and it went from being like, a place like it was a Club 52 or Club 42, like out in LA where they party hard all night long, to we close at 2.
Oh my God.
Matter of fact, we close at midnight. Like,
Yeah, I mean, for me, I miss it. I miss the camaraderie. I also feel like that was our ground to kind of get along and come together and be
Yeah.
hey, we still love each other. Even though there's some competition, it was friendly competition. So I do miss that. But I do want to, because I'm always about friendly competition and, highlighting other comics, I would like to highlight this next comic. And I don't want no back talk. I don't want if you don't like this comic, I don't care.
Before you do it, can I just you're talking about the Arts Bar and what it was for this. Can I just give a shout out to what it was before the Arts Bar? It was called Jilly's.
Really?
It was at 18th and Broadway. It became something else. And so I know the Arts Bar, they did a lot of poetry, they did music, they did comedy, but every Wednesday night at Jilly's, it was anything goes.
Really?
Yeah.
It was music, and you were getting the best singer-songwriter, and bands would come in there, and you would get spoken word artists, and they were and then you'd get the comics, and we would close that place every week. It went all night long, and that's where I got good. That's where
Really?
Yeah, and people, it was packed every single week. People came to see the show because it was such a good show.
we need another one of those.
I definitely, I just miss that. I miss.
How about every Thursday at 9:30?
you
Shameless
name
plug,
you
shameless.
I
name
don't
the
have it
place
yet.
and we'll be there. I literally my computer just decided to do an update, so now I'm definitely gonna screw up all the upcoming dates and things that are coming
Well, let me give
on my
y'all
calendar.
give y'all all of mine. It's
Yeah,
already
give
done.
'em, drop 'em,
Yes.
drop
So I
'em,
got
drop 'em.
13th through the 15th out at the Legends Comedy Club.
Yes.
Then
That's
I got-
6151 Blue Ridge Boulevard.
Yes, and then the Comedy Club of Kansas City from the 19th to the 21st.
Yes.
Doing with George Wilbon, and then I'm doing the Raw and Random with Goofy and T on the 28th out at Elevate.
Okay.
So, I'm busy this
Shout out
month.
to Club Elevate. I love their club. It's really I just love the aesthetics and the food is good. I don't eat meat no more, but I miss y'all food.
That catfish is amazing.
That catfish though, oh my
Yeah.
God! Just looking at it, woo.
And then he be having cake in there.
Oh yeah, they desserts, the cakes and
I'm
pies.
glad Kevin's doing well at the Legends, man.
Man, I'm glad
That's
he
a
is
good
too.
room.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's
yes,
a fun room. I was able to. Eleanor Kerrigan was in town.
yes.
And
Fun
the
night.
first night he opened, we went down and she helped Chris in the room that night too, and it was a lot of fun, man.
That's
I'm
a good
glad
time.
he's there.
Yes, I know he just had Boogie Williams this weekend, and I think Lamont High did a show this weekend as well. So shout out to Kevin Robe and the Legends Comedy Club. I just mix all the names. I was about to say the Legends Comedy Club in Kansas City. That's not it. I'm adding extra names. But shout out to all the comedy clubs in Kansas City. I think it's beautiful to see everybody grow and bloom and blossom, and just to see that there's different shows every weekend. You're getting a little this and a little that, you get a little this, you get to wet your palate. You get a lot.
The more successful clubs and comedy rooms there are in Kansas City, that just means the better comedy scene is in Kansas City.
Absolutely.
It's not. Nobody's ever going to hurt anybody.
Yes. Absolutely. So I would like to just, shout out and highlight some comics that I have just truly been enjoying online before we close this thing out. Shout out to Geneva Joy Hughes in New Orleans. She is a creator and founder of Black Girl Giggles Comedy Festival and just a lot of amazing things in the culture of comedy. And I just appreciate her for what she does for comedy, but also just Black women and giving us a voice and giving us a platform. So shout out to her in New Orleans. Shout out to my girl in Houston, Texas, MC Lotto, another female comic just tearing up the stages and scene. She's just a fun force, and she's just full of energy and just, oh my God, writing skills amazing, and just her energy on stage. She's like, I swear she's like 4'11", but I know she's taller than that, but just her energy is just out of this world. And also I would like to shout out my boy Brendan Patrick. He also just dropped the album Ballad of a Trash Can and is doing very well on the charts. And so I just wanted to shout him out because he is just one of those comedy recording geniuses and gurus that just gives you tips and things. So I love everybody in comedy and what y'all doing and what y'all putting out. And especially with this pandemic, we have had to kind of switch our gears per se, I guess, and try to look at comedy from a whole new perspective. So I want to shout everybody out for what they're doing. Once again, I do want to give Dustin his roses before he goes. I was gonna put this long post on Facebook, but I was like, nobody's gonna read it. But I just wanted to give you your roses and thank you for allowing me to be me on your stage and just allowing giving me the opportunity to perform. Our vice president said something that was so dope. She said, thank you, Joe Biden, for having the audacity to put a Black woman in the White House. And I just want to say thank you, Dustin Coffin, for having the audacity to put my silly self on your stage and just trusting me, because you kind of trust me a lot, and I appreciate that. So I have to give you a rose.
You'll always be my first lady of the comedy.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, that blows my mind.
The vice president of the comedy club of Kansas City.
Well, I just wanted to thank you because I appreciate that.
I thank you for just always, just for as hard as you work for yourself and your craft, and as funny as you are, and you just want it to work and make people laugh. You come with no ego, and you work so hard, and you're always just a treat and a blessing on my stage. So.
You make me cry, and I can't remember my password to my computer at this time. You're so awesome, but thank you so much for just giving us all a platform locally. Sometimes we don't get the opportunities to feature and headline everywhere, so I just definitely want to thank you for giving us that platform. It's amazing. So before we get out this thing, I know Terrence is like, wrap it up, B. I got to give you upcoming shows. Definitely got to give you some upcoming shows coming up. So, of course, Dustin dropped his headline or his what's coming up. Of course, we got George Wilburn coming, and then Landau's coming, Jason Mewes, yes. Right. So make sure you check that out, as well as Ace's upcoming shows. I'm gonna just drop mine because I'm waiting for my Word document to load.
We have you on Sunday.
Yes, I'll be here with Jordan Silver and friends on Sunday. So I'm super excited about that because me and Jordan, we are like about to be best friends. We've kind of made this great relationship through the pitch. So I'm super excited about that. Also,
there's a lot of tables sold for that.
Ooh, even better.
I'm a lot of seats sold.
Excited.
There's a few left, but there's not a lot. I mean, come check it out. I mean, really,
it's gonna be fun. The lineup is gonna be fun, and it's not just gonna be just super like hardcore comedy. You're gonna get some sketches. You're gonna get some entertaining, thought-provoking things. So I'm excited. Also, the 13th through the 14th, I'll be in Colorado Springs with the legendary Rodney Perry. So if you got some friends or family in the area, tell them to come out. All my friends in Denver, come and see me. Let's eat an edible. Let's have some fun. Yeah, let's do it.
Will you bring me back some?
I would love to bring you back anything.
Edibles made me cry.
That's
You're
what
so stupid. But thank y'all so much for tuning in today. What'd you say, Terrence? I'm sorry.
He said me too. He wants some too. He wants edibles too.
No, he don't. We not bringing nothing back. But I do want to give y'all a benefit of laughter before I leave, because y'all know I'm all about a good benefit of laughter. Laughing helps exercise the muscles in your face, which also helps your blood vessels. You know what I'm saying? Which also helps you move this blood around, make you look good, make your skin glisten. Also, it helps with making you look cute. And I swear to God, the article said that it helps you make you look cute. Now, if you're ugly, I don't know what laughing can do for you, but it might rearrange some things in your face. So make sure that you exercise your facial muscles by laughing, because it's going to supply your cheekbones. You know how I got fat, fluffy cheeks? Because I laugh at every single thing that comes my way, even the not so funny stuff. So make sure you keep laughing. Also, now my document is loaded. Before we get out of here, upcoming shows at the Kansas City Improv. We got Samuel J. Conroe coming the 13th and the 14th. And we got Earthquake coming the 18th through the 22nd. Or I'm sorry, the 20th through the 22nd. And then we got D.L. Hughley coming through the building, as well as Brian Reagan and Bruce and Josh Wolf. So make sure you check out their calendar and shows. But I gotta go, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Comedy Power Hour on KUAW, sponsored by the Music and More Foundation. Make sure you come back for next month's show. It's gonna be a blast. Who will I have as a guest? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't. I'm old. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.